If you're wondering how to start a side hustle with no money, today I'm gonna teach you the best way to do just that. And stick with me till the end because I'm gonna share with you the fastest way to get to the cash. All right, so let's start. What is a side hustle? Now, if you've already been searching for this, you already know to some degree, but really let's talk about what the side hustle is. Most likely, you're just trying to create a side hustle where you want to be able to create another stream of income. Now, maybe it's a passion project you have, maybe it's something you want to do that you love, but you're not sure how to really make that work, right? You're not sure how to really get that going. You might also just want another side income stream that comes and it works within the hours that you have set. Either way, a side hustle can be a great way to go. And then for some of you, this side hustle might be the gateway for you to make it a main hustle, where it might become your main business, where it allows you to be able to quit your job, your 9 to 5, and be able to do something better. Whatever the reason is, it's perfect, right? Now, I'll say this, is if you're in a place where you have too little time on your hands, a side hustle could be really hard. So this is why I'm going to bring up a few other points that even if time is limited, there are some things you can do that may not be the traditional side hustle. Because most people just think of it as, oh, I'm going to start that Amazon business, right? Or I'm going to go start up another service-based business that I'm gonna have to start from scratch and maybe I have to print my own flyers or ads or whatever I have to do and however I have to advertise. And most people don't do that well anyways, and they usually work more hours than they should to make so little money. And again, I don't want you guys to suffer. I don't want you to sacrifice so much, including your family and the time that you have with them, to just get no results. Because the truth is, if this doesn't work out and you have a family, they're gonna hate your side hustle. They're gonna hate you for it. So we don't want that to happen, right? So here's some ways to do it faster, all right? Number one, get a partner. So often people think they just gotta be at it alone. And all of us have our different strengths and abilities, right? Some of us are really good connectors. Maybe we're really good at meeting people and working with people, but maybe we're not so good at delivering on it, or vice versa. Maybe you're really good at delivering on that product or that service, but maybe you're having a hard time meeting the people. Maybe you're like, I need someone to bring the people to me so I can serve them. Well, one of the best ways to do that is to get a partner. Find someone who has the strength that's your weakness. If your weakness is being able to really, maybe you're just not the most conversational person. Maybe you're a very big natural introvert. I am. Maybe you're more of a natural introvert. You're like, I'm not so sure about how to get to people. I'm not sure about advertising or marketing myself. Find someone who's a great marketer, because I can guarantee if they're a good marketer, they probably don't want to do the work. So for them to be able to say, hey, you have a good service, let me connect you, go for it. This actually happened for me accidentally. When I quit being a financial advisor and I was wondering what to do with my life, and I remember one of my millionaire mentors, he said, Chris, I noticed you're doing mortgages. You're a mortgage broker. Do you like doing that? I said, yeah, I actually like teaching people how to use their mortgage and use it in ways to make more money. But you know what? I despise paperwork. I hate it. I mean, here, let me get you some papers. Paperwork. I don't even like this. This is a notebook. I mean, this is like my high school little peachy. If you guys remember those, right? That's almost like a peachy. But I don't like paperwork. He said, well, Chris, why don't you find somebody who does like doing the paperwork? And I said, oh, come on. Those people don't exist. There's no unicorn out there that likes paperwork. He said, Chris, it's more popular than you believe it is. And so I went to that mortgage company. I said, hey, listen, do you have somebody that's really good? Like maybe they're not the greatest person at bringing people in, but they're really good at doing the paperwork. Like they like doing the underwriting process of mortgages. And they said, yes, you need to talk to Clark. And I said, Clark, I heard you're a nerd. I think we should work together, And he said, yeah, if you send me people, that'd be great. I said, great, can we split it 50-50? He said, absolutely. And so what happened? I would spend a half an hour to an hour teaching them about mortgage options and then how they can use it to invest. And they're all excited. They're like, great, who do I talk to get this mortgage? I said, go talk to Clark. He'll do all the nerdy paperwork for you. And they said, yes, thank you. And I said, yes, thank you. And guess what? The next thing I know, a month or two later, I'm getting $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 check coming in the mail that I spent very little time working for. It was the perfect partnership. Sometimes all you're missing to make this side hustle work is just getting the right partner, getting somebody who's strong at the things that you're not good at. That's the key. That's what makes a good partnership work. So look at getting a partner. The second thing is doing sweat equity. Sometimes you don't have the cash to do something. Maybe it's a business that does require some capital. Maybe it does require some money. I have a lot of friends that say, I want to get in the real estate business. And they actually want to do a business of real estate. And I said, well, that's great. But guess what? You're going to need some capital. You're going to need some money for that. They said, we don't have the money, but we have time. I've got energy. I'm young and I'm hungry. I want to learn. I want to do this. And I said, great. In this case, also get a partner. In this case, get a mentor or get somebody involved that maybe they could be the financer in this, but you put in the sweat equity. Now, the great thing about doing this is a side hustle. Many people, when they start a business, they don't really know how to do a business. They don't know the ins and the outs. Unless you've built a business before, side hustle can be a brand new, scary experience. But getting the sweat equity, especially if you have somebody who has had experience, and you say, listen, I'm coming to you, I'm willing to do the work. I will do the sweat labor work for you. The sweat equity doesn't mean you're actually literally sweating, but I'll do all the work for you. I just need someone like you to guide me. You've been there, you've done that, you're still doing it today. Can you guide me and help me do it and even help me finance this? And then I'll put in the extra energy and work to make sure this works. Now, you may not get 50%, you definitely won't get 100% for doing that, but they might say, yeah, I'll work with you. Maybe I'll pay you 15, 25% or so by being a partner in this. Again, now you're not alone in this deal. And even if it requires money to start that business, you don't have to start it. There are lots of ways to get those kind of partners to work with you, and you offer your time and your energy and your labor in exchange for the money that they're going to provide. Beautiful partnership. And I've seen many people, not only do they get that, get the toe first, then the rest of the foot gets in the door. You get that foot in the door, not only do you get that, but what happens is that you actually learn from someone who's actually done it successfully. So you shortcut your path to success, you make it happen faster, and you make more money, which that does make your family happy when you do it that way. You can start small and simple, right? You can really just start to bootstrap it. Bootstrap means that you just don't borrow any money. You don't even have to use a credit card. You just use the cash that you have on hand, maybe the money you've been earning from your job, to start that business. And you just start small and simple and build up from there. I had one client where they were actually wanting to invest money and do some things to create passive income, but then that passion side hustle showed up. A tortilla business that they loved. They loved their tortillas out there in Arizona. They said, we love these tortillas. We can't wait to eat them again. And then all of a sudden, he got to know the owner who said, I want to sell this business. And they came to me, they said, Chris, I think we ruined our coaching with you because we kind of want to start this tortilla business. It's going to cost $15,000 just to get it started. And I said, great. Well, why not just use the money you're going to use to invest and use it for this instead? And they did. They bought the tortilla business, got it going, put a lot of labor and effort into it, but he actually quit his job and was able to make that his main hustle right off the bat. Not with a ton of money. I mean, $15,000 for a business that was already running, already had customers. He was doing food trucks and things like that. It was pretty good, and now he's grown that business to be better. Now, notice he did use cash. There are other ways to get around that. For example, when I started my business in Money Ripples, would you believe that I started with no cash at all? Now, when I did use cash, here's what I did. Now, I did exchanges with people. For example, to build my website, I offered something of value. I said, listen, and I knew the guy wanted to hire me as a coach to help him with the finances. I wanted to hire him to help me build out a website. And we said, hey, let's make a deal. Let's exchange our services in order to get both. So he helped build me the website, even just a little bit of SEO, search engine optimization work for me, just to get the website really started and going. I coached him on his money side. It was a perfect partnership. Neither of us had exchanged money, but we exchanged value with each other. To both of us, it was worth it because the truth is we could have charged each other a lot of money and still made the exchange. But, for us, it was worth being able to use our talents to make that kind of barter. It was perfect. So bartering can be a great way to do it. Another way is letting your job be the seed money to start your business. And you want to start small and simple. So I remember I had a mentor always saying, he was a marketer. He said, look for the fastest way to the cash. So if you're looking at a business, look for the easiest product or service that you can offer that you can just get released right away. It might be a smaller service or it might be a bigger one. So when I started Money Ripples, what did I do? I went to the thing that I knew didn't require cash, which was my time and energy. I started coaching. I didn't go and develop fancy big websites other than the little website I had started in the beginning. I didn't go and pay massive money for marketers and do this or that. I just simply said, I put it out on Facebook. I said, everybody, I'm taking on 10 clients. I'm going to do it at a discounted rate in exchange for more testimonials. I want the testimonials from you. So I'm going to lower the price, but you have to give me a testimonial. Do you agree? And people said, yeah, because many of them have been following me from a previous company when I was working with Garrett Gunderson and coaching all of his clients at Wealth Factory. Well, I came over, launched Money Ripples, and I said, let's do this. And voila, I had my first 10 clients very quickly with zero marketing dollars, zero money out of pocket. The good news is this, guys. You can start any way possible. To recap, I mean, like I said, you can get a partner, have somebody that complements your weaknesses with their strengths. You can use sweat equity and put your time and labor while having somebody else help finance it for you. Or just start small and simple. Start with one thing, focus on that, get that to be profitable, and then use that money to then invest and build and expand your business beyond that point. That is how you can turn your hobby into a real side hustle and make more money now. Hey, put in the comments below. I'd love to hear, what are your side hustles? What are you working on? What are you passionate about? What are you hoping to do? And what value did you get from this? What kind of tips are you gonna take to implement in your life today to make some massive changes? Put that in the comments below. And check out this next video, how to turn your hobby into a side hustle right now.